There is a photograph sitting on my dresser. It belonged to my grandmother's closest friend, a woman named Eleanor. Taken sometime in her early 70s, her hair is pinned up softly at the nape, silver and full, with the kind of shine you simply cannot buy. Not one thin patch. Not one brittle end catching the light wrong. Eleanor never went to a salon more than twice a year. She owned perhaps 3 products, and 2 of them were items any kitchen would have. She did not follow trends. She did not spend money chasing solutions to problems she did not have. What she had instead was a set of quiet habits, 13 of them to be exact. Habits she learned from the women before her, passed down without ceremony, without labels, without a price tag attached. And the result was hair that women half her age quietly envied. Welcome to Timeless Pearl, the channel for women who understand that the most elegant things in life are rarely the most expensive ones. If you are new here, subscribe now and stay close, because what we are about to go through may be the most useful thing you have heard about your hair in years. We are counting all 13 down to the one that made everything else possible. Number 13, she never once combed her hair bone dry. Every morning, before she touched her hair with anything, Eleanor dampened it first. A fine mist from a small spray bottle she kept on the dresser. Sometimes a few drops of a light oil worked through with her fingertips. Only then did the comb come through. Dry hair, particularly fine or aging hair, has very little give. It resists. And when you force a comb through resistance, the hair does not bend. It snaps. Every dry stroke is asking the strand to do something it cannot safely do. A little moisture changes the physics entirely. The strand softens. It flexes rather than breaks. The comb moves through instead of pulling against. The detangling mists they sell for this now cost $12 and $15 a bottle. Eleanor used a small glass spray bottle filled with water, sometimes with a few drops of rose water added for the scent. Why it works: moisture restores flexibility. Flexible hair bends, it does not break. And hair that does not break stays on your head. Number 12. She combed with wood, not metal or plastic. Eleanor had a wide-tooth comb made from polished wood. She had owned it for so long that the teeth were worn smooth from years of use. She would not have traded it for anything the chemist sold. Metal combs have tiny imperfections along their teeth, small rough edges that snag and tear fine hair. They also generate static, particularly in dry weather, and static causes breakage along the most fragile sections of the strand. Plastic combs vary widely in quality, but the seams between molded halves can catch hair with every stroke. Wood is naturally smooth. It generates no static. It moves through without tearing. The seamless wooden combs sold in beauty shops now cost $20 and $30. Eleanor paid very little for hers, once, and used it for decades. Why it works: smooth teeth release the strand cleanly instead of dragging against it. No snag, no static, no unnecessary loss with every stroke. Number 11. She protected her ends with deliberate, regular trimming. Every 6 to 8 weeks, Eleanor sat down with a good pair of sharp scissors and took the smallest amount off the ends. Not because a salon told her to, because she understood something most women discover too late. A split end does not stay at the tip. Left untouched, the damage travels upward along the strand, quietly destroying length that took months to grow. The split does not announce itself. It simply climbs. A small, timely trim stops it. A neglected split eventually takes far more than a trim would have. Eleanor did not pay for this. She learned to do it herself, carefully, with scissors kept sharp and used for nothing else. Why it works: a healthy end cannot split further. A split end that is removed early saves the length below it. Consistent small trims protect more length than waiting until the damage is visible and severe. Number 10. She never slept on cotton if she could help it. Before bed each night, Eleanor pinned her hair loosely and laid down on a silk pillowcase. Not satin, not a blend. Silk, or in leaner years, a smooth cotton case she had ironed flat and worn until the surface was as smooth as she could keep it. Cotton is absorbent and textured. It pulls moisture from the hair while you sleep and creates friction against the strand for 6 to 8 hours every single night. That friction, repeated night after night, wears away the cuticle of fine and aging hair until the ends look dull, feel rough, and break with very little encouragement. A silk surface allows the hair to move freely rather than dragging against the pillow. It also holds moisture in rather than drawing it out. Why it works? Less friction overnight means less cuticle damage. Less cuticle damage means softer, shinier, stronger hair. The difference over months and years is profound. Number 9. She gave her scalp circulation the same attention she gave her skin. A few evenings each week, Eleanor would bend forward over the edge of her chair and spend a few minutes letting the blood move to her scalp. Then she would sit back up and massage gently with her fingertips for a minute or two before pinning her hair for the night. The root of every hair grows from a follicle fed by blood supply beneath the scalp. When that circulation is poor, the follicle receives less of what it needs, and the hair it produces reflects that. Finer, weaker, slower. Scalp massagers and tools sold for this purpose now cost $30, $50, $100 or more. Eleanor used her own hands and a few quiet minutes before bed. Why it works? Improved circulation nourishes the follicle at the source. Stronger follicles produce stronger, fuller hair from the very beginning of the strand. Number 8. She fed her hair from within using the simplest protein available. Tucked in Eleanor's pantry was a box of unflavored gelatin. Not for cooking, for her hair. Once a month, she dissolved a small amount in warm water, applied it through her hair from mid-length to the ends, and left it for 20 minutes before rinsing thoroughly. Hair is made almost entirely of protein. As we age, our hair can become finer, more fragile, more prone to breakage. Protein treatments temporarily fill in weakened areas along the strand, restoring thickness and resilience. The bond building and protein treatments sold in professional salons now run $40 and $50 a session. Eleanor used a box that cost her pennies and lasted for months. Why it works? Protein applied to the strand fills gaps in the cuticle and strengthens the hair from the outside in. Fine hair becomes temporarily fuller. Fragile hair becomes harder to break. Number 7. She used a simple herbal rinse that most women walk past without a second look. Along the edge of her garden grew nettles, which Eleanor harvested with gloves, simmered in water, and cooled into a rinse she poured through her hair after washing. She had done this since she was a young woman and saw no reason to stop. Nettle is rich in silica, iron, and vitamins that support hair strength and scalp health. Silica in particular gives the strand its flexibility and spring, the quality that allows hair to bend rather than snap under everyday handling. The silica supplements and hair growth formulas now sold in health shops cost $20 to $40 a bottle. Eleanor grew hers by the fence for nothing. Why it works? Silica and the minerals in nettle nourish both the follicle and the strand, building resilience from root to tip. Hair that bends does not break. Hair that does not break holds its length. Number 6. She did not wash her hair every time it looked less than fresh. Eleanor washed her hair once a week, sometimes less. Between washes, she kept it looking clean and neat through other means. A fine bristled brush to distribute the scalp's natural oil. A light dry shampoo made from oat flour when necessary, worked in at the roots and brushed through. Every wash, no matter how gentle the shampoo, removes some of the scalp's natural sebum. That sebum is the finest conditioner a woman's hair will ever receive. Strip it away daily, and the hair goes dry. The scalp overcompensates, and the ends suffer most because they are furthest from the source. The dry shampoos sold in bottles now cost $12 to $18. Eleanor used oat flour from the kitchen tin. Why it works? Preserving the scalp's natural oil keeps the strand coated and protected between washes. Hair that retains its natural moisture stays soft, flexible, and far more resistant to breakage. Number 5. She never dragged a comb from root to tip. Eleanor detangled from the ends upward. Always. She would begin at the very bottom of her hair, work through whatever small knots she found there, move a few inches higher, clear that section, and continue slowly up toward the root. Most women do the opposite. They begin at the scalp and drag downward, driving every tangle toward the already fragile ends with the full force of the stroke. Tangles sit at the ends. That is where the oldest, most vulnerable part of the hair lives. Working from the bottom allows each knot to release gently before the comb reaches it. Working from the top drives the comb into every knot with force. Why it works? Starting at the ends removes resistance before the comb arrives. The strand releases rather than snaps. Hair that comes through the comb cleanly loses far less length than hair that is forced through. Number 4. She washed her hair less frequently than anyone around her expected. Eleanor's generation did not wash their hair daily. They washed it weekly, sometimes fortnightly, and the hair of those women, silver, platinum, soft blonde, was often the most luminous in the room. This is not a coincidence. The shampoo industry has spent decades persuading women that daily washing is necessary. It is not. In fact, for fine, aging, or silver hair, daily washing is often genuinely damaging. It strips the natural oils, leaves the strand parched, and forces the scalp into constant overproduction. Weekly washing, with careful care between, allows the scalp's own oil to do what it was designed to do. Coat the strand, protect the cuticle, keep the hair soft and manageable without a single product applied. Why it works? The scalp's natural oil is irreplaceable. Every wash removes it. Washing less often means more time for that oil to work its way down the strand and do its quiet, essential job. Number 3. She treated heat as a special occasion, not a daily habit. Eleanor owned a set of heated rollers. She used them perhaps once a week, for occasions that merited them. The rest of the time, her hair dried naturally, was set with pin curls, or was simply pinned up and left to find its own shape. Heat damages the strand by stripping moisture and disrupting the protein structure of the hair. For fine, silver, or aging hair, that damage accumulates quickly and shows up as dryness, frizz, dullness, and breakage. The hair that reaches the ends is the oldest hair on the head. It has already endured the most. Adding daily heat to that equation is one of the most reliable ways to ensure it never grows past a certain length. Why it works? Every day without heat is a day the strand retains what it has. 6 days of no heat for every 1 day of styling allows the hair to hold itself together over time. The result, over months and years, is the difference between hair that grows and hair that quietly disappears. Number 2. She trimmed on a schedule, not on impulse. Eleanor set a date, the same interval, repeated consistently through the year. She did not wait until the damage was visible. She did not skip because the ends looked fine. She trimmed on schedule, every time, by design. The philosophy behind this was simple. A small, predictable trim removes the damage before it can travel. A split caught early costs almost nothing. A split left long enough costs months of growth. She also kept her scissors sharp and used them for nothing else. A dull blade crushes the end of the strand rather than cutting it cleanly, creating the very damage it is meant to remove. Why it works? It was never about the calendar date. It was about the routine. Consistency catches problems small. Small problems do not become large ones. Length is protected, not by growing faster, but by losing less. Number 1. And this one cannot be purchased anywhere. Eleanor never once believed that her hair, at her age, was something to apologize for. She did not look in the mirror and see a problem to manage. She looked in the mirror and saw something worth tending to. Something worth the time it took. Something worth doing properly. That belief is the foundation beneath every other habit on this list. Because a woman who believes her hair is past its best will stop caring for it. She will cut it short simply to be done with the effort. She will reach for whatever is quickest. She will give it the minimum because she has already decided it is not worth more. Eleanor gave her hair exactly as much attention at 70 as she had at 30. Not out of vanity. Out of something quieter and more dignified than vanity. Out of the belief that she was still worth the care. That belief is what made everything else possible. The wooden comb, the silk pillow, the weekly wash, the patient detangling, the careful trim. None of it happens without the foundation. Care is the one thing no product has ever been able to sell you. It can only come from you. Look at that photograph one more time. Eleanor at 70-something. Silver hair, full and luminous. Pinned up at the nape the way she always wore it. A wooden comb on the dresser. A silk pillowcase. A box of unflavored gelatin in the pantry. Nettles growing quietly by the garden gate. Not one luxury product. Not one expensive treatment. Not a single thing that required a credit card. Just a woman who understood that the most beautiful things are kept, not bought. And who believed, without question, that she was still worth keeping beautifully. If this speaks to you, share it with a woman who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Timeless Pearl. We are here every week for women who know that elegance is not something you age out of. It is something you grow into. Until next time, care for yourself as carefully as Eleanor did. You are worth exactly that much.